going on, guys? It's Jazzy, and today I'm here with WWE superstar Bayley. Bayley, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm a little nervous, standing next to a superstar here, but I'm going to do my best. I'm in good old Brooklyn, so I'm going to try my best.
Well, one thing I'd say is that as a Brooklyn native, we definitely welcome you here, and I hope that you're having a very great time here.
So far, so good. It's been a very busy morning, but I'm representing,
Yep, I see it,
Honestly,
I see
I
it.
just got this as a gift from the building because this is kind of like a second home to me. Had a very special match here back in 2015, so I think being able to do cool stuff like this with you, a Brooklyn native, is even more special.
So you're originally from San Jose, California, and are of Mexican background, which is actually really cool and caught me completely off guard. So can you share a little bit more about the ways that you embrace your Mexican heritage and your culture?
Yeah, so I first got into wrestling with my grandma, who was, where my Mexican background comes from. She watched a lot of Lucha Libre growing up, and then she got my dad into it, and my dad was the one who got us into wrestling. So to me, that's where I take most pride in, Aside from me loving the culture and me
Yes.
loving the food and me loving their drinks and everything, I feel very proud of it because as you saying, it caught you off guard. A lot of people don't realize that I am. And when Hispanic Heritage Month comes around, they put me in there. People are like, oh my God, Bayley's Mexican. And I think the fan base is so loyal to me because of that. I have
Yeah.
a lot of Hispanic fans. When I go to Mexico, I can really feel the love.
Yes.
And I think that it's a really cool thing for them to feel like, oh, one of ours is there. And to me, it being a wrestler, Lucha Libre is a big part of the culture in Mexico in general. So to be a part of wrestling and the WWE on such a large scale, I really do feel like they're proud of me. It feels like a family thing every time I go to Mexico. And to me, I'm still learning and trying to, I'm also trying to learn Spanish, so taking it very seriously.
How do you feel that WWE representation for women has changed since you were a kid to now? Because I know that there were so many ladies around the world who really liked wrestling and who were in the wrestling world.
That is a really good question because it's a very important part of why I do this and why I got into it. Right now, it feels insane to be a part of the WWE and be a part of, to be a wrestling fan is so incredible to be right now. But to actually be in the company at the top level right now feels insane because it's so popular. It's back to where like when I got into it, the late 90s, early 2000s, when it was so huge in pop culture and every athlete and every celebrity was talking about it. Like that's how it feels right now. And back then it was always, The Rock and Stone Cold and the Hardy Boys and Lita and all. But like right now, if you look at the top, it's Liv Morgan, it's Rhea Ripley, it's Naomi, it's Nia Jax, it's Tiffany, it's Bayley. It's all these women showcasing what they can do. And obviously, as a fan, that's all I wanted, because when I watched it, like the women's division has gone in waves, and like everything does, it goes in waves of, when I got into it, it was top stories, Trish and Lita were the top stories. And then there were moments where it was like, okay, they're not the attention anymore, the women don't have as much time on TV, or they're not getting opportunities here, or, they're lacking a little bit in the division here. Right now, I feel like that is far gone from where we are. We have the most stacked roster in the world. I truly believe that. We have the most talented women. And I can firmly stand on this where I say, like, I've been with WWE for 11 years now. This is the best the division has ever been. And that's not a knock on anybody else or the past years because they helped us get to this point. Someone like Natalya, who is still a part of this, has a lot to do with how much the women get along with each other and how much we build each other up every single week to be able to perform and compete at the level that we do right now. It's because of how tight everybody is. We all challenge each other in a positive way. And I think that was unheard of years ago, and so I feel really proud to be a part of it.
Well, representation is very important, and I love how representation has changed over the years for women in the women's division when it comes to WWE. And I'm very proud to say that as a fan, I really do love to see the women's division, and I really love to see how well put together it really is. And how everyone is so competitive, everyone has that strong nature in them.
Yeah.
And that's what I really love to see, and I find it really amazing.
I appreciate that. I think, we reach out to girls,
Yes.
Although you're a professional and,
Yeah.
you have your own show, your age shows that you're still, you have so much left to do, compared to someone like me. But, that is who we are trying to inspire. I
Right.
started watching this when I was around your age. And now I'm here, I talk to girls at meet and greets, or I talk to women in the locker room now that, they were inspired by so-and-so or by so-and-so, by so-and-so. And like, that's really what we do. It's not, women that just want to be a professional wrestler. You don't have to want to be a professional wrestler. But for you to be inspired by what we're doing is just you watching and being like, man, I could achieve my dreams too. Man, I could do big things too. And if you didn't believe in yourself before, you see one of us on TV and you do big things. Like, we all want to inspire the younger generation and just for them to do more and know that they are capable.
Well, thank you so much for representing us ladies and the way that you do.
Thank
it does
you.
mean a lot.
Hey, you're doing it too.
Thank you.
You're representing women all over the world, and kids, women, men, old ladies, grandpas. You're doing an awesome job, and you're doing big things from what I hear. So thank you. You're inspiring a lot too.
Well, thank you so much for that compliment.
Yeah. I thought you were going to shake my hand, so I'm going to shake your hand.
Yeah, let's just shake hands. Yeah. So winning the Women's Royal Rumble this year was a huge accolade in your career. What did your preparation look like to achieve this, and what did that victory mean to you? Because that was a big deal, guys.
That was a big deal. Yeah, guys, it was a big deal. Just in case you didn't know, go watch it.
Yep.
To me in my career, I've talked about this briefly a little bit. The Women's Rumble wasn't around when I was a kid, watching. It's only been around for 6 years or 7 years or something. I don't quote me on that, but I've been a part of 5 of them, I think. And every year I just wanted to come out earlier. Like the first time I was number 27. I was in there for like 2 minutes. Then I was number 14. I was in there for like 5 minutes. And, I just wanted, it was like, I want to come in earlier. I want to be in there longer. And like, that was my goal, was to last longer than I did the year before. And when it came time to like, oh, you're going to come out number 2, or I think I was number 3. You're going to come out number 3. And then I end up winning the thing. And I set a record time, like over an hour, like 62 minutes or something. I still haven't fully let it settle in, or to me, it's still an unbelievable achievement that I never thought I would ever do, for 1, because it wasn't around when I was a kid. And for 2, because honestly, I just didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel like I was good enough to last that long and to like actually do it and to get a big WrestleMania moment. And that's the kind of the matches, like the Royal Rumble match is one thing that everybody knows, whether you watch WWE or not. Yes. Everybody knows what the Royal Rumble is. So to say that I have won one of those, man, I could retire tomorrow and I'll be good, I still got a long ways to go.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of that moment.
So I know that you love to interact with your fans regularly. So can you share one of your craziest or most memorable fan interaction or encounter during your entire career?
Man, I've had different ones, from like my grandma showing up to a meet and greet, which I was caught off guard and so
Wow.
surprised. Like, I saw this old lady cutting people, and this is the grandma that got me into wrestling. I saw her cutting people and pushing. And then I saw my uncle, and I'm like, what is happening? And my grandma showed up, and she's like, I came to see you. I heard you were here. Not that that's a crazy one. I go all the way from that to, men and women crying, meeting me and shaking me and making me emotional, or saying they got into wrestling because of me. I think, for lack of calling anybody out and making anybody feel embarrassed for how they are, when they meet me, I think the best interactions I have are when I get to meet women that are training because of a match that I've had, or because of what we're doing these days. I think when they come up, like, there's some girls that I see here as extras, like extra talent. They're backstage. They're not quite signed with the company yet, but they're here, and I remember them as fans that were like standing outside when we pull in, and when we leave the building, signing autographs for them, and now they're wrestlers themselves. And getting to hear their story when I get to meet them, or they give me their merch shirts. I think, to me, that is the coolest interaction. Because to me, it's like, okay, well, I achieved what I was trying to do.
Yes.
Trying to inspire the next generation, and like, that's the best feeling in the world.
I bet it is. I mean, you are absolutely correct on that, and I'm sure it feels so great for you to inspire others. So can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
Just know it's going to sound really cheesy, but I promise, no matter what it is in this crazy world that you want to do, you can. Like, I'm just a boring, nothing to offer, not athletic, all this stuff. I didn't have anything, came from nothing. I didn't have, hookups or anything. Like, as a kid wanting to do this, I just had this feeling. And whatever that feeling, whatever gives you that fire, whatever wakes you up and makes you motivated or inspires you, whatever that feeling is, and if you have it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have it and you don't know what I'm talking about yet, it's because you haven't found it yet. But I promise, as soon as you find that passion, freaking go for it because it's going to happen. And you don't just feel that way for no reason. You feel that way because it's your purpose. So go do it. I did it. She's doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it.
Just do it, guys. And we have heard it from legendary WWE superstar right here, Bayley. And until next time, Jazzin' out.